Atlas. Is this thing really a comet, is the question. We have scientists all over the world giving their thoughts on this, and new data is now in. Especially the images from the James Webb telescope. They're showing that this thing is not off-gassing like a comet normally does. And if you can't tell from the images here, there is no tail on this alleged comet. Now, the information they have put out there already was that they believe that this has some sort of internal light source that's giving off this light. They say that it would have to be over 12 miles long if it was reflecting light. And now, they've used some of their instruments to see exactly what it's off-gassing. And oddly, it's off-gassing a large amount of carbon and not a lot of water and other elements which they expected to see. Water and ice is usually what makes this fuzzy coma around a comet. And then the whole thing's lit up symmetrical with the smaller particles being pushed out the backside, which form the tail. As it gets closer to the sun, it forms an ionized tail. It can have what they call a double tail. But this is missing one. And it's moving faster than anything they've ever seen coming into our area. Now, the path of this has really caught the eye of a lot of people. It follows a retrograde orbit aligned within 5 degrees of the ecliptic plane. Super unnatural. Has a 0.005 chance of being natural. And it's coming in, passing close to Venus at 0.65 AU, Mars at 0.19 AU, and Jupiter at 0.36 AU. The probability of this is off the charts. They say there's no way that something drops down into the ecliptic plane natural and is on a course like this that's going to skim and barely miss all these planets out of nowhere. Then they released information on Oumuamua, stating that indeed this thing was not a comet neither. It was an interstellar object, as they're dubbing, and it picked up speed as it took off out of here. Now they say that when Oumuamua took off and picked up the speed, its expected trajectory did not match what they observed. This shows that there was something off about it, and it was long, cylindrical, metallic in nature, and seems to have been intelligently controlled. Now remember,
Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Makakodash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the IKM teaching His word, brought the four corners in true sincerity. I'm back on another lesson. The Spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, willing to be edifying us to the elect. All right, as you can see, all right, they're talking about, from Dabu 7, a mystery object half the size of the sun is headed our way. All right, hey man, we've been talking about the chariots of the Lord, all right, for years, that they're on the way, that these are the vehicles that the Lord is going to use to destroy America, all right? And when you see them, don't be surprised. Well, you will be surprised, but we won't be surprised because we know what they are, all right? They're not understanding what it is. Their science is not matching, all right? The trajectory is off. It's moving unnaturally. It's 0.5% natural, all right? These are the chariots of the Lord. All right, what object can do that? Move at fast speeds, okay, through space. All right. Not having natural, their so-called natural, what's the word? Natural laws of physics. All right. All right, and this can, and what you think about this could be one chariot. All right, the chariot that Yahushua coming in definitely it could be larger than that. It is gonna be larger than that. All right. It's lucky. The chariot Yahushua coming is gonna be larger than that. All right. Let's go to 2 Edges 13. 2 Edges 13:1. All right, because when we talk about these things, we're not just talking out the. We're not just talking out the ass. We bringing out the scriptures. We backing it up, precept on precept. All right, and this matches up with the scriptures. And if you didn't know, the chariots of Yahweh Shai, all right, on what they call the so-called UFOs. Okay? But like, what? Yes, that's what it is. Okay, if it's your first time hearing it. These are the vehicles that the Lord is going to use when he returns to show his power and glory and to deliver the elect from the four corners of the earth and to destroy Babylon, which is to destroy Babylon, which is America, according to the scriptures. All right? But this is 2 Ezra 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. This is Ezra receiving a vision. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that removed all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Who is that man? All right, Yahushua. And he said he waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Because Yahushua is coming with an army. All right? He's coming with an army. Revelation 1:7. It says, behold, he coming with clouds. All right, the scripture not going to say UFO or unidentified flying object, UAP, all right, spaceship. It's not going to say that. It's going to describe the chariots, right? The clouds. Okay? Describes that as the clouds. All right? It says, but we coming with clouds, and every eye shall see him. How is everybody going to be able to see? All right? Because like you had that video. You said that ship was basically half the size of the sun. All right, and that could be just one. Okay, because we can't put no limit on the Lord. All right, the chariot that Yahushua's coming in is gonna be so large. Well, let's go describe it in 2 Ezra 13, but it's gonna be so large and gigantic. You can't miss it. It's gonna be right above. It's gonna be right above. You know, right above your head. Just look up. You gonna see it. Can't miss it. Having other chariots there as well. It says, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. I'm like, why are people going to wail? What is going to cause that? Because again, he's coming to judge. Okay, he's coming to judge. All right, let's go to Isaiah 65. Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66:15. It says, for behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and to his rebuke with flames of fire. So the Lord is angry. All right, the way the Lord is going to appease his wrath is by judging the earth. All right, with those chariots. All right, by zapping you. All right, turning people into dust. Okay. All right, so what you see in the movies, all right, is likened unto that. All right, how you have, the movie Independence Day, where a large chariot, so-called UFO invasion. All right, the army is fighting against the UFOs. All right, where do you think they get that from? All right, this is not no mystery, no conspiracy. All right, this is true and factual. All right, it's in the Bible. Okay, but if you can't receive it, then you can't receive it. This is ultimately for the elect. All right, but in that day, everybody will know what the prophets are talking about, that they was right. Okay, 2 Ezra 13:4, it says, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. There go that fire once again. So where that fire is going to come from? It said it went out of his mouth. Okay, concentrated fire from the chariots. Okay, zapping people. All right, zapping. He saw a ship zapping his fighter jets and etc. The Lord not coming back to play. It's lucky. The Lord's not coming back to play. All right. The Lord's coming back to wage war against these nations. All right. When you pull up, to army, you're not coming by yourself. All right. You coming with an artillery. All right. And the Lord's artillery is a part of his artillery is them chariots. Okay, the Lord not coming back to do no talking. We passed talking already. All right, the Lord's coming back for vengeance. Okay, the Lord's coming back for vengeance. All right, this is Isaiah 47 and 3. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. All right, talking about Esau, Edom, he's being exposed. All right, he's being exposed. It says, I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. All right, so when Yahweh shall returns, he's not coming in that fashion when he was first on the earth, humble, like a lamb. All right, and now he's coming back like a God. All right, like a God to wage war against these nations. Okay, I'm like, how did you know that? How you know he's coming back? You know, to fight. Well, we go to Revelation 12 and 7. It says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. So Michael and the angels, all right, ultimately, you know Yahweh Shai is a part of that, okay, because Michael's a part of the Lord's army. All right, so Yahweh Shai is going to return with Michael, other angels as well, all right, and the dragon is his angels, talking about Esau, Edom, and his armies, all right, and these other nations, okay, to fight against who? Yahweh Shai. It says, and prevail not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, was deceived the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. All right, so when that time comes when there's going to be a war in heaven, all right, it's not going to be no long, drawn-out war like how Esau be having 10-year wars, 20-year wars, etc. This is going to be an easy fight for the Lord, all right? Because, again, the Lord is coming back to show his power and his glory, all right? How can the Lord show his power? By coming back and defeating the most powerful nation on the planet Earth. All right. That's in power right now, Esau, Edom. He has the most powerful army. All right. His blessing is the sword. Okay. 2nd Esdras 13 and 5, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea. See, so again, in the midst of World War III, Yahweh Shai is going to return. Okay, and these different nations, these armies, it's like are going to try to stop Yahweh Shai. All right, but it says, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Again, as I was talking about earlier. All right, you seen that, how I said that chariot was, you know, half the size of the sun. All right, half the size of the sun. Can you imagine that? All right, and who knows? That could be one chariot. Yahweh Shai's chariot is barely bigger than that. All right, but he said he saw it was a great mountain. He said, but I would have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. All right, that's how large and massive it was. Esdras in the vision couldn't see the beginning or the end of the chariot. All right, and that's gonna put fear in these nations' army, and that's why they're gonna try to stop. That's why they're gonna try to fight it, because they don't know what it is, but it's so large. It's a ship. It's just a ship that just popped up in the air, and other ships as well. All right, so they're gonna look up and see who. All right, it says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, yet there's fight. So they were afraid. But the Lord put the spirit on them to fight anyway. All right, can you imagine that, being in an army, you fighting against your enemy, and in the midst of you fighting, a ship, just a large alien, in your mind, a large alien ship appear. All right, you know, you thinking it's an alien invasion, right? And it is an invasion. All right, it's an invasion of Yahweh Shai. All right. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned him up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke, which I saw. When I saw this, I was afraid. All right. So again, imagine you at war, a large spaceship pop up in the air, and all you see just laser beams just coming down, zap. People just turn into dust, explosions, boom. All right. Okay, it's just people just turn into dust, just getting zapped, instant death. And that's gonna put fear. All right, I mean, Ezra's just seeing this, witnessing this. All right, and best believe it's not only gonna be the Lord killing soldiers too. You know, y'all wicked niggas, go get it. All right, because I've been disrespecting the prophets. All right, I've been coming against the man of the Lord. All right, scoffing. All right, scoffing at apostles and elders. All right, you're not scoffing at us. We just preaching the word, man. We preaching the word, and you niggas think it's cool to scoff against the prophets of the Lord. All right, the Lord not just go turn the other way at them. All right, because again, we just like that meme, and that meme. All right, I'm just a messenger. Look, we just the messengers. All right, you can say whatever you want to us. We just the messengers. We carrying the message. All right, so you're not hurting us. All right, you never hurting the Lord. You just hurting yourself. Because when you see all this come to pass, right? Because you may hear this and be like, man, this nigga crazy. Man, what this nigga talking about? UFOs, man, beams. I think that's in the movies. All right, you see what they talking about. NASA talking about something that's half the size of the sun is in space. They don't know what the fuck it is. There's only one explanation, and it's in the Bible. All right, Jack, you go see, and you go hate the day of the Lord, and you go be fearful. Okay, you know, but that alone this lesson was edifying. I want to give our praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Al-Shai Ba'Shem, Rakak Wadash, and honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the Ikim, teaching his word.